Hi crafters, this is Nye with All Things Were Created. Today we are going to go over the assembly of the Valentine's Day heart spinner. This craft is going to be a little tricky for us to put together. And so I'm going to walk you guys through it and we're going to go through the assembly here. But feel free to pause along with me at certain spots. So I have all of my pieces cut. I have my art glitter glue as what I'll be using to glue my paper together. I also have some paper fasteners that I'll be using. I'll be using only one in the center here, so that way I'll be able to spin my spinner and it'll freely move. And I also have my hot glue gun here off to the side. I'll be using just a very little bit on the part of the paper fastener that's going to adhere to the back, just because I don't want the fastener to move around as I use the spinner. So first thing is first, make sure you have all of your pieces together. We're going to start with the wording part first, because that's actually going to be the most difficult. So I'm going to take these pieces here and I'm going to move them off ever so carefully, because I don't want this pie piece here to get shifted. That's where we're going to start first, because start gluing first, because this is the hardest and trickiest part. When you have all of your pieces cut out, the wording must go in this exact order. You're not going to be able to take Text Me and stick it next to True Love. It has to go in this exact order so it fits on the circle underneath, and so the pie pieces all come together. If you try to put it in a different order, it's not going to work. Okay, I tried several times and I was not able to get it to work. This is the only way. It's kind of crazy. So what we're going to do is I want you to pause the video for a second and make sure that you get all of your pieces lined up just like this in this order. Your color combination doesn't matter, just the wording needs to be in this order. So pause the video, take a second, and get it lined up. Okay, so hopefully you paused the video and you took a moment to get your wording and all of your pie pieces here lined up and ready to go. We're gonna start gluing, and what we want to do is we wanna make sure that it doesn't shift at all because we want it to be just right so it all fits. Like I said, this is going to be the trickiest part. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one part of my pie. I'm going to start here. I'm going to add just a little bit of glue here to the back. I'm not going to do the wording part because that's going to be a little tricky. And then I'm going to try and hold as many of them down and press it so that way this little piece lines up on the pie right in between where I have there, and also right at the edge without really going over. I can feel it here, so I'm good. And then I'm going to do that again for this next one. I'm just going to rotate mine here. Oh, it looks like this part didn't come out. The I and B mine didn't come up. Whoops, and I shifted mine just a little bit. Let me grab that and get it out with my weeding tool here. Looks like it got stuck. Okay, there we go. And again, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a little bit of the glue to the back of this part of the pie, not the words just yet. And again, I'm going to try and hold everything down and add it so it's right next to that part of the pie, right at the edge there. Okay, and again, lift up and then rotate. And now, oh, this part looks like it did it too. I must have missed all of this when I was lining them up here. That's kind of funny, right? Oh, the S looks like it might be a little stuck. Let me just see if I can rip it. Yeah. Well, it's not perfect, but I don't have another one cut, so. Okay, so again, I'm going to add a little bit of glue to the back of the pie. I think I must be running out as well. And then hold everything down, and once again, make sure that it lines right up. Remember, you can always shift it a little bit before it dries completely. And just put it right next to it there. And now for Hug Me. Again, just a little bit of glue to the back. And right there to the side. Okay, and now the next one. Okay, and let me bring this one in a little bit. And that one shifted there too. And right there against it. And now for True Love. Okay. And again, just push it so it meets. And now for Snuggle. A little bit of glue. Again, right up against that one there. And for the last one, okay. And that one's going to fit right in between those two there. Okay, whew. There we go. So now we have them all there, but we still have this part at the edge. We're not going to glue behind the letters, but what we're going to do is just take a little bit. I'm going to wipe my glue here. We're going to take just a little bit and add it right to the top of this part, just to hold it down on all the sides, right at the top there. We don't want to glue behind the letters, one, because we don't want it to seep through the letters, but also because it was more important that we got everything to line up just right for the spinner. And then just press it down as you're going to help it to adhere. And if you get any seepage there, that's all right. Just wipe it again. It'll help to seal it so it stays even more. And there's that one. So like I said, this part is the hardest and the trickiest part. The rest of it will just be gluing and layering all of the pieces together. Did I do this one right? No. I am trying to keep track of them. See which parts lift up here. Okay, and this one as well. And just a little fine amount of glue there. You really don't need much because it'll hold it. And then did I do this one? I think I did that one. Okay, so there we go. And that S is kind of bothering me. I might have to use my X-Acto knife and come back to it after I'm done for the picture. Okay, so now we have they're glued. And it looks like I kind of missed it there a little bit but it looks okay on this end, so I'm going to let it slide there. Okay, so we can put that one off to the center or off to the side, and we can start gluing the rest. So I cut this spinner in glitter stock, and then I used just a regular cardstock for this one to kind of make the back, so that way you don't see just all of this white here. And so we're just going to add some glue here as well, just a little bit. We're going to start on that side and then put them together. And it's really just so you can't see the white, but also to give it a little bit extra sturdiness here. And I'm just taking the glue that's seeping and just rubbing it along the side to help create an extra seal there. And then I'm just going to add it a little bit onto this part as well. And then pressing it down so that way it meets and it seals. Okay, so there's the spinner. And now for this part, I'm cutting the glitters coming off of my cardstock. For this part, these two pieces here, I'm actually going to meet them together, and then I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to glue the red to the white, because again, I'm not really going to go through and try and get all of the spots for the letters, only the big gaps here. And then just press it down to secure it, rotate it again, and then just get the bottom part as well. And then press it down. And there we go. So there we have those three pieces, I should say. And now we have the hearts. So again, what you want to make sure is that you have everything lined up. If you have your hearts are going the wrong way, they're not going to meet. Do you see that part there? They're not going to meet and it won't work. So just make sure the orientation of all of your paper is correct. This is going to be my back. And I'm going to take the glitter and the pink, put off the back part for a moment, and I'm going to start gluing these two together. Make sure that your hole in the center is lined up and perfect. Take your hand, press it down, and then you can start gluing. Again, you do want to just make sure that you're not gluing where the hearts would be. I'm going to come on this part here and glue it here on the glitter side so I'm not getting the hearts. And then I can't seem to put my glue down without it tipping. And press it down, give it a moment to dry, and then you can flip it over, and then it's a lot easier this way, gluing the glitter part first. And then pressing it down. So now that we have these, you have a choice. You can take this now and you can glue it here, or you can just use the paper fastener. That choice is yours. I'm going to glue mine down because I don't fully want all of these moving. I really only want the spinner to move. So I'm going to take all of my pieces and glue them down. But if you don't want to, you don't have to. And once you have the pie part done, the orientation now, it doesn't really matter at all. You can put it any way that you want. The most important part is that you get that hole lined up right in the center. And then press it down again. And then take the top part. And again, you want to make sure that the hole is lined up. And this part you kind of do want to make sure that it's centered. You don't really want to make sure that Valentine's Day is going like this or this. You really want to make sure that it's centered right there over the hole. And there you go. Okay, so now you take your spinner and you add it there, but we're not gluing that part. We're going to take our fastener, and these fasteners I just picked up at my local store. It measures, the top is about 1/4 of an inch, and then the bottom part here is about a little bit like close to 1/8. So you kind of do want to make sure that you're not getting super big fasteners. And then take it and just fish it through all of those parts. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just add a dab of glue on the back to keep this fastener secure, because I want the fastener to stay, but I want my spinner to move. So open it up and then just press it there. And I think I need a little bit looser than that, so it spins. Well, maybe I won't add the glue. I'll just leave it there. So see, there we go.
Oh, I think I'm going to lift it up just a little bit more here, and now press it down. This part's going to be the trickiest here. Just press it down, and that doesn't look like it did it. I'm going to try and give it a little bit more room. The fastener head really shouldn't be super close to the top here, but it's hard to find that exact amount. There needs to be a little bit of space, and I think this one's going to need just a bit more. Okay, I'm pressing this part down here, and maybe that did it. No, it's doing it, but it's not spinning as freely as I wanted. Let me try it again. Give it just a bit more room, and hopefully, let me hold it from this side. And so I'm pulling the fastener on the other end. I'm going to try it now. I guess this is just another little tricky part here too, trying to get the fastener not to be so close to the top here so the spinner spins. Yes, I think that it's spinning a lot better now. Let me just try it one more time. It's getting caught on the end because that part's not glued down, but it is spinning, and it's much more freely spinning, I should say. You just lift that up a little bit more, and yes, I like that. That's a lot better. Okay, let me just try it one more time here. Okay, so yes, it's spinning much more easily. The fastener head just really needs a lot more room there than I thought. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to add just a dab of glue right here. It doesn't really need a lot because I just want this fastener to not move when I'm spinning it. So I'm going to do it on that side and give it a second to dry and stick. And I'm just going to press over the excess there, and I can see it. Yes, it's spinning much better. And let me add it to the other side here. Again, just a little dab, and press it in there so it sticks and it holds. And let's try to glue that end part down now. I have a lot of glitter from my spinner there that's coming off. But just a little bit of glue right behind this end to make sure that it stays and it doesn't catch on the spinner as it moves. Let me check this other end, and the E and the A. I'm going to do the A here. Just add a little dab again underneath just to make sure that these letters don't pop up and cause the spinner to stick and get caught as you go to spin it. I'm just checking the rest of these letters out here just to make sure everything is good. Okay? Yes. Oh, that's so much better. See that spin? That's what it should do. So really, you just want to make sure that that fastener has a decent amount of space and it will freely spin. Okay, and so now we're just going to glue the back to the heart and just line it up, and then take your glue. And what you want to do now is just really be generous with the glue here. You don't want to be too generous, obviously, but you also don't want to be too little. What we want to do, though, is just make sure that we're using a lot so that way it sticks and it doesn't come off. And then just line everything up and then just press everything down. And that will cause it all to stick. And there we go. There's that spin. It's nice, free, and fast. This is it, friends. I really hope you enjoyed this craft. Thanks so much for watching.